I'm Dr. Meenakshi Mahur, Assistant Professor, Zoology, Sri Samlaji Government College, Mandpya, Chittorgarh. Today I'm going to explain greenhouse effect. As we all know, the temperature at the surface of the earth is maintained by the energy balance between the sun's rays that strike the planet and the heat that is radiated back into the space. But some of the heat is absorbed and retained by the earth or objects on earth's surface. And much of the heat does not pass through the air envelope to outer surface and gets absorbed by the greenhouse gases which are present in the atmosphere, and they adds to the heat already present on the earth. So greenhouse gases in the atmosphere around the earth means that if you imagine that this is the envelope of greenhouse gases. So greenhouse gases in the atmosphere around the earth act as a window glass pan, which actually allows the short wavelength incoming solar radiation to enter the earth's surface, but it doesn't allow long wavelength, that is infrared wavelength radiations of outgoing heat radiation from warm surface of the earth's surface. And these long wavelength radiations get absorbed by the greenhouse gases and reflect back heat energy. So this mechanism keeps the earth warm, and this phenomenon is called greenhouse effect, and it is responsible for the increase in temperature over the earth's surface. Now, what are these greenhouse gases? Greenhouse gases are those gases which prevent heat from escaping to outer surface, and they are functionally comparable to the glass panel of greenhouse. Um, Major greenhouse gases are carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, and chlorofluorocarbon. So first, carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is the most abundant greenhouse gases, and it is responsible for more than half the human contribution to the greenhouse effect. Actually, carbon dioxide is not considered as pollutant, but its higher concentration forms a thick layer around the earth's surface like envelope, and it allows the solar wavelength incoming solar radiations to come in, but doesn't allow the long wavelength of outgoing heat radiation from the warm surface of the earth. There are a number of factories which are burning immense quantity of coal, oil, natural gas, fossil fuels based power stations, automobiles, um, and burning of firewood, deforestation, change of land use, forest fires, and volcanic eruptions. They all are responsible for the carbon dioxide increase in the atmosphere. Uh, Usually, marine organisms and planktons in the oceans they have an ability to fix carbon dioxide, but because of global warming, the ocean's capacity to remove carbon dioxide from the atmosphere has been reducing in the past some years. Nearly 100 years ago, the carbon dioxide level was 275 ppm. In the year 2000, it was 368 ppm. But today, that is in 2020, it's about 350 ppm. And by the year to 2035 and 2040, it is expected to reach more than 450 ppm. So it will cause havoc in this world if it increases to such a level. Then, second major greenhouse gas after carbon dioxide is methane. It is a 20 times more powerful in trapping heat than carbon dioxide. Methane is released as a result of combustion of carbon dioxide and microbial decays in absence of oxygen. And it occurs in a freshwater, wetlands, flooded rice fields, the biomass burning, landfills, and the digest system of cattle and termites. Now, come nitrous oxide. Actually, it is a colorless gas and it is produced by a variety of biological process in soil and water. Production of nylon, nitric acid, and nitrogen fertilizers, agriculture, biomass burning, industrial process, breakdown of nitrogen rich fertilizers, nitrate contaminated groundwater, they all are the sources of nitrous oxide. And a natural process like lightning is also one of the major source of nitrous oxide. Then nitrous oxide, chlorofluorocarbon is the next greenhouse gas. It is the most stable, it is non-flammable, and it is non-toxic gas. And it is extensively being used in the air conditioning, refrigeration, sterilization, and it is also being used as aerosol propellants, and it is also used in fire extinguishers. So it can be emitted by leakage of air conditioners, refrigerators, and evaporation of industrial solvents. Then water vapor. Its concentration is regulated by overall atmospheric temperature and pressure, but not regulated by human emission. Actually, water vapor absorbs long wave radiation and radiates it back to the Earth's surface, and thus it contributes to global warming. So, these all are major greenhouse gases, that is, carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, chlorofluorocarbon, and water vapor. On Earth, carbon dioxide from fossil fuels and industrial process is about 65% of the overall greenhouse gases. And the carbon dioxide from forestry and other land use is of 11 percentage of total greenhouse gases. And methane is about 16% and the nitrous oxide is 6%. And chlorofluorocarbon gases, it's about 2% of the total greenhouse gases on the earth. Now, we will see negative impacts of greenhouse effect. There are many negative impacts of greenhouse effect on plant, animals, environment, and humans. First is sea level will rise due to thermal expansion of oceans and the melting of glaciers. And because of rise in sea level, it may submerge low-lying islands and it will threaten the life of one third of the human population. If sea level will rise, it will cause flooding of cities and it will cause displacement of the people, it will cause loss of the coastal ecosystem, and it will even cause salination of land. And low-lying coastal cities and other coastal towns around the globe will be inundated. There will be more hurricanes and cyclones and snow melts in a mountain because of global warming, and it will cause more floods during monsoon. And because of the melting ice cover, wildlife and the humans will be seriously affected. There will also be extinction of many plants and animal species, and it will occur in the changed environment. And greenhouse effect also may decrease the food production, and it will because increase in temperature results in eruption of plant disease, explosive growth of weeds, and it will cause increase in the rate of respiration. And then because of all this, grain production will be reduced. Greenhouse pollutants will pose a direct threat to the coral reef in the oceans. And deserts are also likely to rise. So these all are the negative impacts of greenhouse effect. Now, besides negative impacts, there is one more thing, that is a carbon dioxide fertilization effect. That is one of the important positive impact of greenhouse effect. Actually, greenhouse effect may increase carbon dioxide the fertilization effect because due to increase in carbon dioxide concentration, the photosynthetic rate, or we can say the rate of photosynthesis, will increase, and the rate of transpiration will decrease due to the partial closure of stomata. And because of this, many plant species to grow uh, in water deficient regions, and due to more photosynthetic supply to roots and more fixation of nitrogen in root nodules, mycorrhizal development, they all will be enhanced. So this will enable plants to grow in even nutrient poor soil. So the response of the plant to elevated concentration of carbon dioxide is known as carbon dioxide fertilization effect. Now we will see how can be greenhouse effect be controlled. So first, by enhancing afforestation, because it will certainly reduce the level of carbon dioxide. Then we can control greenhouse effect by reducing consumption of fossil fuels like coal and petroleum. Uh, if we increase our dependency on non-conventional renewable source of energy like wind, solar energy, biogas energy, and nuclear energy, then also we can control greenhouse effect by minimizing use of nitrogen fertilizers, because it will reduce production of nitrous oxide, and nitrous oxide, as you know, it is one of the major greenhouse gases. Then by developing substitute flow for the chlorofluorocarbon, that is CFCs. Then by increasing awareness among people regarding impact of climate change, greenhouse effect, and global warming, again we can control greenhouse effect. Uh, there are also some global efforts which are controlling greenhouse gases emission in the atmosphere. These are Kyoto Protocol or carbon footprint. Actually, in UNFCCC, it came into being on 21st March 1994. Its ultimate aim was preventing dangerous human interference with the climate system. And by 1995, there are many countries. They realized that emission reduction provision in the convention were inadequate, and they launched a negotiation to strengthen the global response to climate change. And after 2 years, Kyoto Protocol was adopted. Kyoto Protocol was adopted in Kyoto, Japan on 11th December 1997, but it came into force on 16th February 2005 due to complex ratification process. It commits industrialized countries to stabilize carbon dioxide, and it was structured based on the principle of convention. It only binds developed countries because it recognizes that they are only responsible for the current high levels of greenhouse gas emission in the atmosphere. And the goal of Kyoto was to see participants collectively reducing emission of greenhouse gases by 5.2% below the emission level of 1990 by 2012. So this was Kyoto Protocol. It was came into existence in 16 February 2005, and its aim was to reduce the emission of carbon dioxide. So today we discussed what is greenhouse effect, then what are the greenhouse gases. The major greenhouse gas is carbon dioxide, after that methane, then nitrous oxide, then chlorofluorocarbon, and there are also many more diseases which I have not shown in this pie chart. Then I described all the greenhouse gases one by one. Then I explained negative impacts of greenhouse effect. Then positive impact of greenhouse effect, that is a carbon dioxide fertilization effect. Then I explain how can greenhouse effect be controlled. So these are all about greenhouse effect. Thank you.